Dun, 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 dun. Is it live now?
Do we only have 45 minutes still?
No.
Okay. Oh, we got money.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Nigga need a sponsorship.
Oh, okay. I was looking at the playback video
Get
just to
them
make sure we were
funds
good.
up.
But y'all ain't on the
Get them
screen, so it only
funds
show
up.
me and Pat. It's not going to show y'all at all unless y'all have y'all screens on. Because right now, if you look at the live stream, it's just me and Pat on there. So y'all turn your cameras on.
Is this you and Pat?
Yeah,
Yes.
I don't. How else is it gonna show them?
There
if
we
the
go.
Camera isn't on.
Oh my bad.
No, it wasn't showing like their name at all in there. You know how like the Zoom, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like it was just showing.
I'm right here, boss.
I'm looking at the playback right now.
I'm right here, boss.
Welcome to our first. What?
What are you watching?
What am I watching? What do you mean?
Like, what you mean you looking at the playback?
I'm looking at the playback of the live. I got two
I'm telling
screens.
you now. Frank come on this goddamn.
Wait, so you're not looking at
with that trash mic? It's gonna be really upsetting.
Hold on. What do you say, Pat?
So you're not looking at it through playback?
I'm looking at it through just like another screen. I have like another little. I don't know if you can see.
Pat, are you talking about the app or are you talking about YouTube?
No, I'm talking about playing it back. Like.
Oh.
What? Yeah, I like how you're doing it, Pat. Shit.
Yeah, let me set up mine. Am my mic good?
Sounds good to me.
That's the clearest mic you've ever had.
Yeah, the mic is perfect.
How do I sound? I just moved my mic a little bit.
Like trash.
It's the visual points that's kind of throwing us right now, Cooley. It's the I think the gray head and the gray body that's kind of.
No, I was doing something, but okay.
My bad.
There you go. Trying to set up the playback.
The heavily opinionated.
Wait, you downloading it too? Downloading the playback.
Oh, you talking about playback? You talking about that platform?
No, I'm talking about. I'm playing off the YouTube.
Oh, okay, yeah. I just got it on YouTube.
So everybody watching it off of YouTube? Let me set mine up.
I had to watch it off YouTube because I had to see the chat and stuff like that.
Playback.
Everybody else watching it. Let me set mine up then.
Like when I put Glow Live, it took me to the screen to what we're doing. So,
but it's not like on the playback.
What does that mean specifically? Because I think we might have something completely different. What is it? What are you referring to?
I don't know because you referred to the word. So what did you mean when you said
when I said playback? I was referring to it showing us live right here, like a few seconds delayed.
Where when you pointed, it just kind of like your arm, half of your arm was in the camera, similar to what like my arm is doing right now.
How does this work?
So I don't really know where the hair here was.
Like that. I got it right here. It's blurry right now, but
yeah, because I'm glad you said that because my next thing was going to be I don't really see what you're seeing, but I see playback right there. So we all need to go to the playback to go and watch this.
Am I even subscribed to this channel?
I think that's what we need to start with.
I'm subscribed.
I'm subscribed to Jamel Massey's Zoom meeting.
Oh yeah, I should change the name. I appreciate that.
It's too late. It's too late now.
No, I can change the name.
Jamel Massey Zoom meeting.
Jamel Massey Zoom meeting.
Getting crazy.
For your career, you should just change it to Mr. Massey, so that way they don't get it confused.
Yeah, let me change this. Can I change this? Yeah, edit video.
It's too late.
Yeah, okay. Edit video. Edit video. What's the name? What should we name it? I don't know.
Mr. Massey's Zoom
First
video?
Live. I'm not calling it that.
Heavily opinionated episode 86.
Oh yeah.
Only. Maybe. Do we start season 2?
We'll start season 2 at episode 101.
No, we're in season 3.
That's the OCD in me.
You're right.
You said 82? That's where we at?
86, man.
86. Oh, that's how you know we be cooking, man. I can't even keep track of all the episodes.
He's drunk.
Yeah, it's been a pretty dry
month. You need to go take another nap.
He says it's been a pretty dry month.
I'm watching it on my YouTube. I'm watching it on the TV. I ain't even appeared yet. Oh, there I am.
You stupid.
It's a little delayed.
Yeah, we on the
Yeah,
text
it's
delay.
got to be delayed. Yeah.
Oh
for sure.
man, we on NBC.
Damn,
Yeah.
y'all niggas telling them boys y'all reading the teleprompters and shit.
That's how they know we
this
in
on
the chat.
CBS.
This is pretty cool. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, man, this is fun, man.
Yeah, we finally made it out the hood, y'all.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think this is one for celebration. I ain't
I ain't
gonna
gonna
lie.
lie. I feel like we should record like this all the time.
They're like us. They're like us. They're like us.
They are not like us. They are not like us. They want to be us. They want to be us.
Boop bop, beat, ba boop bop.
Bam. Type of stuff I'm on, your ass wouldn't understand.
Don't worry. Next time
Buster?
we do this, I think everybody's thing should be changed from Patrick's iPhone, Najee's iPhone. It's gonna be switched around.
Oh yeah,
Everybody
change our
has-
Zoom. Yeah, we do. Yeah, we'll get more professional.
yeah.
Hey, y'all, we'll get more
for a minute.
professional on the next one. This is the first time. Give us grace. And if
Yeah.
you don't give us grace, oh well.
Yeah,
Shit.
keep your grace if you don't want to give out.
Yeah, don't waste your grace on us.
Whoa,
Goodness gracious.
I got God and my mama on my
Can
side.
we start this show already?
Oh, okay. Yo. Welcome back to the Heavily Opinionated Podcast. It's your boy, Jamel Kijana, a.k.a. Melly Mel, a.k.a. whatever you want to call me. And with me, I got...
It's your boy. It's your homie. It's your boy, Playboy Troy, back in the building. Boom. How we doing?
Damn, man.
My bad.
Oh, man, we all good. Who else I got
All right,
with me
so
tonight?
haymakers.
It's your boy Cooley High, aka Frank Mason, and I'm here with the people live and direct.
Yes, sir. And last but certainly not least...
It is, you know what it do. It's your boy Platinum Pete.
Yes, sir. Let's get it. All right, it's been a while. We know. Yeah. Whatever. Y'all know. We back. Let's get moving. NBA playoffs. We done finally reached the finals, but we ain't even been back since the playoffs started. I don't even know if we talked about the first round. But
Nah.
so, what's the question, Naj, for the NBA? What's going on?
So first of all, let's go ahead and get a little panel going about this stuff. So first, I'm gonna talk about the first round. So first round it came out hot. That's the first time in a long time that the playoffs really started off hot. Usually it drags. It's a lot of games that sweep. It's a lot of series that sweeps. It's a lot of games that really nobody's gonna watch. We end up having the NBA TV championship every first round, always. But I think this first round is probably the best first round we've had in a long time. So the question is, first, what was y'all's favorite series to watch for the first round?
I'm not gonna lie, I'm pulling up the bracket. I forgot.
No.
It's been so long, bro. It's been 2 months, bro.
Put the bracket up for the people. So
they'll be all right. They know.
I gotta go Clippers versus Denver.
Okay. I'm about to say,
that was a good series. I would say that too, but then honorable mention Detroit and New York, just because not on basketball, but more personable. Since my dad's been a Knicks fan my whole life, well, his whole life, and I live in Detroit, family in Detroit, all that. So it's like, okay, I got to see,
I got a couple videos of me watching the game, like making some content and shit, and I never really released it, but. I mean, I definitely I put my.
You was holding out on the pod. You was holding out on the pod
every time, bro.
You keeping the stats to yourself?
Sure, to definitely, you know what I'm saying, try to bring the aura. So I do agree. Like, I think that was a great series as well.
Or he was aura farming.
Bringing the aura, huh?
He was aura farming his content.
This
man here, I tell you, boy.
As the individual who said don't say it, says it. I just want to let y'all know. 10 years ago, the aura of a person.
Yeah. That's what I should have said too earlier. Even earlier when we talked earlier this afternoon about we did used to say some form of that, just not that. But anywho, Cooley, what's your take? What was your?
Oh yeah, you still gatekeeping people and how they talk based on their age. Yeah, I know,
bro.
But
it was a GI Jane joke.
Anywho, my pick would be.
He's sensitive.
It's a tie between the Clippers and the Nuggets and the Warriors and the Rockets series.
That's what I was gonna say. I was gonna say the Warriors and the Nuggets. I was gonna say that was a great series.
I'm at a tie. But if you gonna make me pick, I'm gonna say Nuggets and Clippers.
That was a good series.
I'm gonna go Warriors and Rockets, man. I think I love to see that age-old storyline there for that series was the age, which was the young guys versus the old guys. Just seeing how that plays out, because we've seen the Warriors in the playoffs so many years. At this point, it's natural to see them there. But Houston was an up and coming team, fell out that fold of playoff talk just to see them come back, and then them to really match up with their arch nemesis, which is the Warriors, is a crazy thing to see when they finally get back up in the playoffs. With them having Van Vliet, who killed off the Warriors really when he was with the Raptors, and then
he's a
them
Warrior
having
killer.
Udoka, and them having Dylan Brooks, who was giving them fits, not giving them fits, but was a rival when he was in Memphis. So it's great to see all them components thrown them back into the pot, adding in Jimmy Butler and his first time in the playoffs with the Warriors, adding in, of course, Draymond Green and his shenanigans, and then Steph Curry dealing with the hand injury. So between, like I said, like Pat said, Denver and the Clippers, and then I think the Warriors and the Rockets. But bleeding into second round, what second round matchup really stood out to you guys?
Well, to go back real quick, because I didn't really give a reason as to why, but I will say, like, I don't even got to go too far into why. I just really wanted the Clippers to win that series.
Me too.
I really wanted to see them win.
I was too.
And I was rooting for Denver, but also I was like, because I think we had a call offline where I was like, I think the Clippers could actually do something.
Yeah.
And then they lost. I was like, damn.
It just I forgot
James Harden in Game 7
more in the playoffs, you know.
That's exactly that. Both of what you guys say. I wanted to see more Kawhi and James Harden in Game 7. I really wanted to see James Harden kind of get over the hump, quote unquote. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And so, because I think he's a great player, but
he's only been to the Western Conference Finals once, right?
I believe so. However,
what he said,
he's never missed the playoffs in his entire career, which is going on about 12 years, 13 years. So as good as that is, it's also something to be said about only making it to the conference finals once, never having a finals appearance. You know, that is something to be said.
But I think that shows how tough it is. I think that shows how tough it is to make it out the playoffs, to get to the playoffs.
No, that's a good point.
I mean,
take that for granted.
We always talk about with Mel. Mel always talks about shortening the playoffs or like we should be talking about shortening the season. But to me, that 7-game series shows you who really deserves to actually win the championship. Because when you could always beat one team one night, but when we're talking about I beat you 4 times, there is no question of who's the better team. Because at that point, we played 2 at your house, we played 2 at my house. Now we're going back and forth. So nobody ever keeps.
And I think it's just
the full on, huh?
I say 3. That's just me, but never mind.
That's 3 out of. I mean, even if we did play 2 at your house, play 2 at my house, at some point we got to go back to 1 because that's 5.
Oh no, that's what I meant. Like 3 out of 5.
But I think you eliminate and cheat, of course, history. But I think you also, like you're saying, like you cheat the game because a part of it is definitely, all right, you have to beat this team 4 times. Not only 1, well, let's go back. 1, you see teams throughout the season 4 times in a conference matchup. You see what I mean? So that's why you have to beat these teams in these 4 times. The same thing. It's like little mini series. But 2, health. If we go to a Game 7, who's healthy?
Who's the healthiest?
Yeah, like who's the healthiest? Who's locked in? If both teams are healthy, who's more locked in? Like you know, that's that. I don't know. I just don't think you could get rid of the 7-game series. I think it would be a little interesting.
Yeah, no, I don't think they ever would, but just me personally,
they might. I mean,
you never know. They might.
I'd be as a non-basketball head. As a non-basketball like fan, as much as I used to be, and even back then I wasn't too crazy. It's just not. It's not as enticing to me at that point. It just depends, though. It just depends because like the what was the one that y'all was saying earlier? The first round, the Nuggets and the Clippers. That went to 7, right?
Yeah.
That was an intriguing. It was okay, but
Well, I would say this not to jump early, but like for example, I don't even know what the fuck they do in soccer. I don't know if it's 1 game, 2 games, 3
always
games,
one. No, one.
but 2 are
one.
You tell me y'all don't. Y'all do the.
There is only the aggregate is only for like specific tournaments, but like for your league, whoever has the most points at the league wins. There's not really a playoffs for that, but for Champions League, they will do a 2, and it's more about how many do you. It's more about goals than it is win game. Because if I won the first game 3-0, that means going into second game I'm up 3-0. So you could win the next game 2-0, but I won the first game 3-0, so it don't matter.
Yeah,
so it's like it's more about trying to get goals than it is about trying to get a win here and trying to get a win there. It's like, bro, I put 3 up. I put 3 on you in the first game. It don't matter if you score 2 here.
That's a continue on of that 1 game.
Yeah, so it's like, is that really a series or is it more?
So I say because
it's more of a continue. It's more of a
continuation.
Understand it
when you have like series like we're talking about first round when we have OKC versus Memphis. That series was over within first 2 games. To be honest with you, the games was over.
Yeah, and that's
so it's like great to move on.
That's why.
Real quick, 2
more
games.
That's why I'm a 3 out of 5. That's why I'm a 3 out of 5. But I still say for the finals, keep it 7.
But what if Shea got hurt? Then what?
You got hurt. Y'all, it already takes a whole week. If you're not back in a week, then it's like
they done had this discussion in the NBA before about shortening the playoffs.
The entire series. If Shea gets hurt, that changes the series. Now we're looking at
that's the same for Boston. That's the same for Boston as well.
That's the same for a lot of teams. They one play away
for the Warriors
not being contended.
That's just any sport.
And in the second round, when Steph Curry gets hurt, they're sitting there. He gets hurt game 1, and they're like hoping, and they're literally hoping they can survive until game 6 when he could return.
No, man, he done. Let's end it.
To that point, Minnesota had to handle their business. If Minnesota does not handle their business, now we're
open the door.
Exactly, a potential of a different conversation. So, and that's what makes it interesting. It's the game of games. But the reason why I said
it's kind of like a first half and the second half, like them first 2 home games or the first 2.
Yeah, the first 2 games is the first quarter.
Hold on, let me finish.
All right.
The first 2 game home stretches for both teams. That's like the first half of the whole. You know what I'm saying?
And that's what I'm saying. That's too long for me. For someone who's not as into basketball, now it's like, all right,
it's
bro,
only long.
Like this shouldn't be this one series shouldn't be almost 2 weeks, bro.
But that's where I was heading. I mean,
if the teams are equally balanced.
That too, Cooley. But I think.
Go ahead, my bad.
I think at the end of the day, we can't go to somebody else's sport and be like, this is how I need to change. But 2, I feel like it's like you gotta appreciate it for how it is. I would probably like football. Them niggas can't go play each other more than 1 week, bro. Like we can't see series.
Yeah, for sure. And I wouldn't want it either. I wouldn't want that either.
I would love to see it. But you have to go into it. That's you. You keep saying yes, this, that. Nigga, you don't control the sport.
Yeah. I'm just I'm just saying what would be more entertaining for me. And you're saying what would be more entertaining for you, and that's cool.
But that's my point in that. So it's like, all right, instead of us, and not just you, but more like most fans, instead of us picking at what we can change, why don't we look at what we can appreciate? You see what I mean? And I think that's what
you're not a basketball guy. So that's what it is.
Yeah, it's not
a basketball guy.
Yeah,
I'm
not telling you to appreciate nothing.
He's coming into
critique. I'm not gonna go to their sport, and I'm not gonna be like, this one needs to change. This one needs to change.
Right.
We just gotta take the game for what it is.
I'm okay with it. If you say this one needs to change, that's how. To me, it's this one needs to change to make me more interested in it, and that's all. I'm saying that.
Marketing to people who aren't interested in basketball already. You see what I mean?
Because a lot of teams like to grow their market into people who might not be interested in it.
I like what
and say, what can we do to bring in more?
Because I'm about to say, Pat, you bring up a great point. You do, and I want to hold on to that point real quick so we can get back to it real quick. Because let's hop in the second round, and then we can go back to what you're saying.
Okay.
So, what matchup sticked out to y'all in the second round? Where you kind of enjoyed it or you watched it more? Is there any matchup that you enjoyed more?
The Warriors and the Timberwolves. That was prime time television.
That was a good matchup.
That was prime time television. When Ant-Man came to the Bay, I think that first game, that was prime time television, baby. Oh yeah, that's what my pick is. Anybody else?
I'm gonna go the other way. I'm gonna go because really I'm starting to see a pattern here. But I'm gonna go with the Thunder in Denver.
I gotta go OKC Denver.
Once again, that same story. Same story with the Warriors in Houston. Same story here with Thunder in Denver. But the only thing that was a twist was they met last year. And last year, Thunder was inexperienced. And of course, Denver was a more experienced team. But this time now, Thunder got a little bit more experience on them. And they're the number one seed. They taking on Denver, who a lot of people kind of put as the number 2 seed. But I don't think they were the number 2 seed, but they were the 2 best teams in the West. So I think just to see it where a lot of people said whoever came out that Thunder Denver series was going to go to the finals. So I think that whole matchup was a great way to test the Thunder because a lot of people didn't believe in them. But a lot of people didn't believe in them because they're young. But I do want to give a shout out to the East on the East side, on the East Coast, because really those games weren't bad either. Indiana and Boston were great games. Boston, New York was great games. Indiana and Cleveland were great games.
Great effort from Donovan Mitchell. It was amazing to watch. Donovan
Mitchell. Great effort from Donovan Mitchell.
It wasn't great games.
Because
I'm
about to say, I was one of those ones who kept going, okay, Cleveland's number 1, but that means nothing. That means absolutely nothing. I've
been saying that the whole playoffs. I don't believe them.
Everybody kept saying they're the number 1 seed. They're the best team in the East. I was like,
they're not pretenders.
They're pretenders. I know you're a fan of Donovan Mitchell, but I know Donovan Mitchell. He's gonna give everything. He's gonna give you everything he got. But it's always been a constant. It's always been a constant theme of his career. He's going to give you everything you got, but he's going to fall short in the playoffs. And
I just think at this point,
because of his sidekick. Garland was not it. Garland wasn't the best.
Yeah, Garland.
That's what I was selling the board. It's always because of his sidekick, though.
It's always a sidekick for Donovan Mitchell.
In Utah, his sidekick was fucking Rudy Gay. Oh, I'm sorry, not Rudy Gay. Rudy Gobert. Exactly. Even worse.
So
you know what I mean?
Rudy Gay was on that team, though, I think.
I think like towards the end or the beginning of Donovan. You know what I mean? And this is kind of what I say to that in a sense where it's like even for Don, Don, he played his heart out and do what he can, but it's just like, bro, I almost feel like Melo.
Yeah.
On a Melo path.
Yeah. Full on.
Melo but it always would be like, all right, Melo gonna do it all, but some things that he would do.
He needs help.
And then some things he would need help, and that was Donovan. Some things he does fucks up. Nobody's perfect, so he's not gonna have a perfect game.
Yeah, I think his game hasn't evolved to the point where he can elevate his whole team.
No, it's not even
championship.
It's not even that. It's a different league. You have to have a 2-player led team. You just
20 points. 20 points from 2 people. Period.
Thunder has SGA, and literally they have with Thunder's different because they could literally switch out. They could go swap the second. They could go Chet. They could go wherever they need to be. But he always has another.
But that's the same. That's the beauty of the Pacers.
That's the beauty of the Pacers because they do the same thing. It's always Halliburton or Miles Turner. Miles Turner or Pascal Siakam. They always have 2.
Really, Hallie, even in that because
sometimes Hallie not even in it. That's what I'm saying. So literally, you look at these teams like New York. It's always theirs is Brunson and Cat. But when Cat doesn't show up, it's a problem. When Brunson doesn't show up, it's a problem. You can see
that's what it is. You can feel
Minnesota. Randall don't show up a lot. So
and
it's like with OKC. What time it is? If SGA show up, you got that. That's consistent, and it's gonna be that second guy. But that second guy don't show up. It's not that big of a drop off. But man, if Garland don't show up for them Cavaliers, it's a deep, steep drop off.
Yeah. It's a huge drop off. So look, and that bleeds into the conference finals where we get into the Knicks and the Pacers on the East Coast. West Coast, we're talking about OKC and Minnesota. And you could clearly see what we were talking about, the two-man game. The two-man game of OKC constantly having a two-man versus Minnesota where they're praying for someone to help them. What help Ant, even when Ant was trash, because Ant was having some bad games. He was having horrible games. Mm-hmm. And then at that point, DiVincenzo couldn't help him. Nickeil Alexander couldn't help. Rudy definitely not about to help. So it was just like
Rudy.
At that point, we're talking about OKC, and they're running and gunning, causing turnovers. I think one point they had 11 turnovers in the first quarter.
But I'm talking about scrap. The whole game, they scrap.
The whole game is like that. And then you flip onto the East side, and it's literally just the same thing for the Knicks and the Pacers, where they're having heavyweight fights. But the Pacers, I've been saying this all season, if you could go do a 10-point run, the Pacers is coming back with another 10-point run to combat that. So if you're not constantly scoring, you're going to get left behind by the Pacers.
Hey,
that makes
have y'all you know how on 2K when you get your guy to like a 95?
Yep.
I ever simulated a couple of the games and looked at y'all scores and been like, God damn, like we went stupid.
Mm-hmm.
The reason being is because y'all play Pacers basketball.
Mm-hmm.
Pacers score in 2-3 seconds. That's how I play 2K. My player, I can have my player and play with that nigga and put up. We talked about it. Remember, Mel? We were talking about it. It was like all of like the godly numbers the nigga was scoring. Like it'd be like 50 points, like 50, 20, or 50, 20 assists.
That 2K cheese.
Because like literally, I just push the ball. Like just throw the ball ahead, get the rebound, push the ball. So get the rebound. If we can score in less than 5 seconds consistently, you going on a 10-point run and stop you on the defensive end. All I gotta do is really stop you about 2-3 times. If I can go put up another 10 points in less than a minute and 30 seconds, that 10-point run that you just did actually was nothing. I just went on a 15-point run. This momentum is ridiculous in the way that we about to keep this shit rolling.
Avalanche. It's avalanche.
That's that pace. It's no pun intended, but they literally have like the best pace in the league. Like, and
it's crazy. The shit's crazy.
They gonna run you out the gym.
On the other
when
side,
you tired, hey, and this the trick part about it. In the fourth quarter, we don't went on a 30, 20-point run. Your whole 5-star lineup tied. All your starters tied. See, I got Obi Toppin coming off the bench giving me 18. I got the other dude, McDermott.
Before we get into that final talk, though, because something just went down, though. So the Knicks just fired Tom Thibodeau.
Hold on. Before we go there,
what's up?
We gotta dive OKC real quick. Let's talk. I gotta go there.
Yeah. Go ahead, Cook.
The boy Shea really is like that, bro. Like I can't even say it. Now everybody talking about this.
Talk about it, Pat.
This foul baiting, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
You got to know basketball.
You gotta give it to him, bro.
You have to know the game.
You gotta give it to him, bro. He ain't doing nothing but finding a glitch in the game and saying, "Okay, I'm gonna spam it."
Exactly.
But you gotta patch it.
If I create contact, boom, bump you. Now we separate. You're the only thing that you're going to think to do is close this gap. And
but you got to see something though. As a basketball player, a lot of people are saying he's foul baiting on stuff. You have to understand, why aren't other players getting these calls? Well, probably because there's a video where Shea gets the foul call and then Jokic comes trying to get the same call. The difference is Shea is going downhill, turning the corner every single time. He's not going side to side. He's going downhill, turning the corner.
Nobody down. He's straight up,
turning.
Going downhill, crossing over, this and that. And that's
every time his contact is coming, as a referee, that's something I'm looking for. When he's coming towards the basket and he's turning that corner and you're on his hip, you're literally guiding him. That's what happens. So guess what? No matter if you Yeah, sometimes he do the extra flailing. Yeah, he does that sometimes.
Every player does though.
All of them do that.
Exactly.
But look,
Yeah, they do that
the only thing different is he's making an actual basketball play of driving to the basket, turning the corner, and you're coming to his hip because you're trying to cut him off. That's it. He leads.
I'm not gonna lie.
He leads the league in drives. What else?
It's just nothing. Exactly. What else?
It's the NBA equivalent of the tush push.
A little bit.
100%.
I'll give it that because really, you look at team like people compare it to why don't Steph get foul line a lot? Because Steph
don't drive the ball.
Steph literally he shoots threes all day. He shoots.
He's catching the ball on like
it's called putting pressure on the
layup. Like you said, Shea is going downhill with the ball.
Shea is putting constant pressure on the hoop. It's called putting pressure on the hoop. He's getting constant pressure on the hoop.
He's shooting threes, yes, but he's not shooting a lot of threes.
He's a midi.
He's shooting mid ranges. He's shooting a lot of middies. But he's tacking downhill.
I'm so happy we having this conversation. It's funny because you know how the numbers, the analytics say it's the most efficient shot in the game is 3-pointers and 2-pointers. Literally, they say
no 3-pointers.
If you shoot mid range, that's not a good shot.
Yeah, facts. But
he's killing the league. He's
not just him. Majority of the league leading scorers score mid range in the mid range. That's what I'm saying.
You have to look at this too. The OKC is built to beat you from inside and out. They have shooters. They have big men. They have a bunch of mid range guys. So literally, they're hitting you. They're literally attacking you on every level. So, okay, guess what? Shea got the ball. I'm driving. You're going to try to stop me from the layup? Okay, bet. I'm going to kick out to Hartenstein for this floater right now. Guess what? If Hartenstein ain't got that shot, he's kicking it to the corner to Dort. Dort's about to swing it to Williams. Williams swinging it around back to Shea. Shea is still about to go back downhill, literally to kick it back out again. And that's literally...
They're shooting...
Now I got you a rotation.
To a 7-foot big man. When he get back on the other end, don't lay the ball up against this man because it's gonna be tough. He's swatting that shit, but he's shooting threes.
It's literally a constant motion of the ball and a constant threat of you don't even know who's going to score. And it gets worse when they go to the bench.
Let me ask this. I want to ask this because things were getting tight. So from your perspective, Mel, second round, what stood out for you? As not a huge basketball fan.
I ain't gonna lie, I sat that one out because none of them. That's why I ain't had nothing. My mama said you ain't got nothing nice to say, don't say nothing at all. So I was just like, I looked back at the bracket and I was just like, I wasn't intrigued by any of these.
Okay.
Because I'm also I don't really watch until game 3. So it's kind of like Tatum was out of the Knicks series. Steph was already out of that series.
You're such a casual.
Yeah, it's not my sport.
That's fair. No, that's fair.
I'll accept that. I wouldn't even deny that I'm not a casual. I honestly say I'm less than a casual. I'm a every now and then. Lately, I would say previous years I was a casual. Now I'm a put it on in the background and I will look at it.
Well, you finishing up school and shit. You got things going on.
Yeah, and I personally, it's not even that. It's just I'm just not interested in the sport itself anymore. Yeah. Now, granted,
because it's not.
He's trying to give you a way out. He's not taking.
No. I don't want a way out. I'm in it.
It's the reality.
This is the reality, bro. I'm not interested.
That was
in
just
basketball.
a joke. I'm not saying.
Okay. All right.
Priorities. I do believe.
But outside of priorities, it's not just that. Like even if I ain't had nothing going on, I still don't think I would still be as tuned in because it's just not. I'm just not into the sport. Well, I would say the NBA, college basketball. Not a year goes by where I'm not watching March Madness. You know what I'm saying? I love March Madness because I love how quick it is. And it's like 2-3 days and you're done within a week and a half. The amount of time March Madness takes is almost one series in the NBA playoffs. So it's just like, bro, March Madness go by quick. Granted, I know it's not that. March Madness takes at least like 3 weeks.
No.
So I would say that's maybe 2 NBA
they're
series.
Younger.
It's a month. And I would say this though too. I think from a casual standpoint, that makes more sense because there's not much drama and everything built outside of this moment. You know what I mean?
That's true too. And also it's different for me with like the NBA because that's another reason about the games. It's like not all these games are going to be prime time. So it's like somebody could tell me game 5, this could be make or break, bro. It's a Tuesday night. It's a Tuesday night. You tell me this is a make or break game. I gotta watch this game on Tuesday night. So it's like, see, like with March Madness, it's like, okay, at least I know. But and then even going back to the non make or break game, it could be like, oh, it's game 2 on a Tuesday night. I'm not watching that. Compared to if it's a Tuesday night March Madness, somebody wins today, they're eliminated. I mean, the other team is eliminated. As with the NBA, it's a Tuesday night, and if we win, we could still lose tomorrow, and I mean in the next 2 days and lose the series still. So it's like I'm not as intrigued to watch a game in the middle of the week that don't have the same stakes. If that's what I'm saying. Like if it's an elimination game,
makes sense.
I'm more, you know what I'm saying. So that. But going back to the second round, there just wasn't really anything that intrigued me that much. I could say maybe the Denver and OKC game, but even those games, the ones that they were winning, they were just blowing each other out. Pause. It was just like, oh, you know, I think a few of them were close, but for the most part, a lot of them were like, when a team won, they won in commanding lead. And it's like, it went to game 7, but how many of them were decided in the last couple minutes? You know what I'm saying? It's like, that's not as intriguing to me.
I'm about to say,
so I ain't really had much pull for the second round for me personally.
Did you have any intrigue in the conference finals though?
Conference finals, yeah. Because the Knicks, man. You know what
I'm saying? I
wanted to see the Knicks, man. No, I'm not gonna sit here and lie. I'm not gonna sit here and lie.
I'm glad that's a perfect segue. Perfect.
Yeah. So I was a little bit intrigued by that for sure. Wanted to see the Knicks get there because I saw how crazy New York was celebrating just getting there. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But who was on the West? Oh, Minnesota and OKC. I thought that I honestly didn't stay up that much to watch it.
Those are late night games.
That's another big thing for me with the NBA. Be like, God, dog, it's late. Be like, shit. I try. You know what I'm saying? I try because even in football season, it'd be like, all right, Monday Night Football. Y'all got to about 10, 11, and I'm out of here. You know what I'm saying? So, with the West Coast series, it got ugly quick, right? I think it was not that close.
It got ugly.
So I fell off. Well, if it's 2-0, I usually start to pull back already because I haven't even really pulled in for real. Mm-hmm. You want to pause that? I don't know, but I haven't really. So
because literally, I'm lining stuff up right now. So one, let's hop into what's y'all thoughts on Tom Thibodeau getting fired. Tibbs getting fired from the Knicks. Was it his firing warranted? Like, do you think he should have been fired? Like, what you think?
I feel like he was.
It's New York. You gotta do something.
Yeah, I think he's only there for 3 years.
You gotta
4 years. 5 years.
Saying you gotta make a decision in the front office as to. I'm saying you. All right. So the season didn't end like how you want to.
Did it not?
Huh?
Did it not? We went to the conference finals.
And off the first year, y'all get cat.
Yeah, it might have been an overreaction.
You had that team together for 1 year so far.
But it's New York.
I'm just asking.
But it's New York.
It's
and
New
that
York.
Pressure that they fan bases have and all that.
Yeah.
I think it was only
I just think it's an overreaction because the market.
I think it's based off of the reports of everybody saying, players saying this motherfucker can't coach. I think that's where it comes from. For me,
that's exactly what it is.
Because literally, you can see where Tibbs, you cannot go into the playoffs running a 6-man rotation.
Didn't
Darvin
Ham take the Lakers to the Western Conference?
Hold on.
Granted, I think they got swept against the Nuggets.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say this.
Yeah, but
he doesn't change. He doesn't change. He don't know how to adapt or adjust his methodology.
Yeah.
He's stuck in his ways. So I say that. I say that's why he got fired.
To go to the Darvin Ham, they ran it back after they made it to the Western Conference Finals with him, and they fired him
halfway through the season, right?
No, I think they fired him after he lost to Denver in the first round.
They fired him.
Yeah. Okay. But going back. Oh, my bad.
To Tibbs' point, I just want to say, I do agree. I mean, I think it's more so like the ex-players and the players, just the discourse around just the way that he was treating his players in the team. And I do believe that they presented him You had to present him with we're gonna bring in somebody else, a strong-headed assistant. That he was just like, y'all might as well just go ahead and fire me. That's what I
think. Y'all micromanaging me. I don't want the job.
Like,
yeah.
Now is that right, wrong, or different?
I don't know, man. Because I see what like you basically fired the guy because going back to Pat's point, how the Pacers play so damn quick. Y'all wasn't matching up nothing. And I ain't gonna lie, when I would watch the Knicks game, it looked like they was doing the same thing each time. It was
he's too stuck in his way.
It's like, bro, and it's too defensive. And it's like, you gonna be defensive. Can you at least stop this? And you didn't.
That's crazy.
Because you could get away with being too defensive if you stop the boys. It could be you can get away.
Yeah, with but if your strategy not even
what I'm really
exactly for. How defensive are you? You let niggas get up 20 points before you start playing. Shit.
Yeah.
Spotting the point.
Thing though. Yeah. I'm excited to see is who do they replace him with? That's what I'm looking for. Who do you replace? Who do you replace Tom?
I'm not gonna lie to you.
I don't know no coaches.
I want either Taylor Jenkins or Mike Malone. There's zero other conversation.
Mike Malone.
I heard Mike Malone in the comments. Who is that again? Who did he coach?
Mike Malone, the one that came from Phoenix, right?
Denver coach.
No, Denver. He won the championship with Denver.
Yeah, my bad.
Denver did let that man go.
Is that
Budenholzer is though. I don't want him. Fuck no.
Budenholzer, he
Mike Malone or
Mike Malone. Taylor, you got to get Mike Malone.
Who's the other dude? Is that Memphis coach?
Old Memphis coach. Yep.
I want either or. Taylor Jenkins was second in the second and every time his team was healthy.
Do we think the Knicks need to? I think the Knicks need to get some more depth. I ain't gonna lie.
They had.
They could use one more piece.
They didn't use them. We don't know
who are. Yeah, because didn't they have somebody else? They had Campaign on the team. I was
but they didn't play.
Is he just not the same guy from Phoenix?
Campaign kind of trash.
Okay. I was about to say I only remember him from Phoenix when he was.
That's my thing. Tom Lilly was running a 6-man rotation, and when he went deeper into his bench, he'll pull out Campaign, or he'll pull out.
Who else did he have? Did he have somebody else that was?
And I'm like, bro.
I saw they had PJ. Who?
Shamit. That boy went to hooping.
Oh, they had Shamit. Okay, I saw they had PJ Tucker.
Bro, it be a lot of weird.
They needed that.
Do y'all think they go after Giannis, or is that just average?
No, they don't need Giannis.
Okay,
they don't need
Giannis. Because there's the New York Knicks every single season. Every time.
Going after him though.
Okay, I was about to say because every single year. Every time there's a big star, New York is always like. Remember when LeBron? It was like, is LeBron going to go to New York or Miami? It was they're always in the market for the stars.
New York.
Donovan Mitchell. They was in the market for Donovan Mitchell.
You're going to hit the Lakers and you're going to hit Miami every single time.
Mm-hmm.
And not because I'm a Miami fan, but
sometimes Philly.
It's those three that's always in there.
There was a time where Philly. Because Philly was in the market for LeBron.
KD has been in the talks
before he went to LA.
KD's had the same teams. Giannis have had the same call-outs. Paul George had the same call-outs. Donovan Mitchell. Not just because, and I'm not saying just because I'm a Miami fan, but that's just always the three teams that they mention.
I mean, maybe people just mention Miami, but I
would love to see New York go after KD.
Well, then what's the third team you say, Pat?
I would say Boston more than.
No, Boston haven't been in those talks yet. No, Boston hasn't been in those three.
They're more of a drafty type of guy.
Boston has kept a natural team. Like they've drafted them or they picked them up.
Traded for majority of their team.
They traded for Porzingis recently, and they just traded for Drew.
Derek White, Drew.
Where the hell was Derek White at?
Those are their three.
Derek White was
players. He was a Spurs.
Where was Derek White at?
Oh, he was on the Spurs. I forgot about that. Yeah.
Those are three of the prominent starting five.
First of all, Porzingis really hasn't been up in there.
Okay. Well, we're talking stars, like number 1 and number 2.
We're talking about Stars.
We're talking
my bad. Let me correct it.
Boston doesn't go after that.
Boston doesn't win if they don't have Porzingis.
No. We're not saying. Yeah, of course that. Of course.
So who cares about their stars?
We're just saying for the basis of the conversation. Just who goes after the star? I brought it up. No.
We were just talking about how you need at least 2 stars to win a championship. Now you're talking about who cares about stars.
Yeah, but
no, I'm saying no.
Is Porzingis still considered a star?
Role player.
But
he's a star. He's a star. He's a star.
Because Porzingis in the same section when we talk about big name free agents, and we go Giannis, KD,
those are superstars.
Who?
Those are superstars. Giannis, KD.
We're talking about superstars.
Porzingis is a star. He's an all-star. But you're talking; those are superstars.
Brother ain't been an all-star since the damn 2010s. And we talking about
he hasn't qualified to be an all-star.
Well, there's a difference between a star and an all-star. That's where there's an all in front of it.
If he's healthy, to me, he's an all-star in my eyes.
Fair enough to your point, Massey, but to what?
No, I was just playing. That's not a real point.
Just said that. No, there is a difference between a star and an all-star. But to what Cooley just said,
that brother is now a bonus. He's
100%. He's an all-star.
He is a big
won that ring without him.
He's a big important role player at this point.
If that's what you want to say, I mean, I think
the injuries impacted his career.
Injuries have impacted his career. At this point now, I don't see him as.
Is Jrue Holiday not a star?
No.
I think
he's a role player.
I think he is. He's a star in his role. He's probably the best of that role that you could choose. That's what makes him a star. The same thing for Derek White. The same thing for Porzingis. This is what makes him a star. We can go and choose the random.
I don't. Man, we can leave it at that being your heavily opinion.
Like Josh, I say like
a Josh. All right, so let's talk about the finals. Because there's a point that you brought up earlier, Pat, where you were saying that Jamel. Well, we was talking about Jamel and the viewership for a casual fan. Hoopers, people that love basketball, they're looking at this OKC Pacers matchup like, bro, number one offense, number one defense. This is something good to look at. As a casual fan,
boring ass cities.
Who's the number one offense?
Looking at? That's what I'm looking at it like.
The number one offense is the Pacers. Number one defense is OKC.
Mm-hmm. Are they? I gotta look that up.
No, it is. Look it up.
Look it up.
I didn't know that.
That's why I was like, okay.
I've been saying this for the whole season. Like, OKC gonna be like that in the playoff because they like top 5. They've been top 5 defense all year. They got 3 players on their team that's all NBA first team.
I did not.
I'm about to say Williams. I want to say SGA and somebody else is like first team or second team all defensive NBA.
But Jamel, you're technically the casual fan here or the sometime fan. You're saying so. What you said? Your opinion on this series is 2 boring ass teams.
No, boring ass cities. I'm sorry.
Okay,
cities. Gotcha. And I know that doesn't have to do with basketball.
No.
Yeah. I'm about to say let's be honest. Take it out of basketball, nigga. Come on.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
I kind of said that when I said why OKC so good and why they got such dedicated fans because there ain't nothing else going on out there.
I think that
outside of go ahead.
No, go ahead, man. My bad.
Outside of that, on a basketball perspective, from a casual, it does make me look at it like, oh, okay, well, we're officially out of that era now of the guys we grew up on because now it's like. This is your finals matchup. And unless some shit drastically change, I don't see that changing from these guys, these newer guys that are popping up in the finals. So who did Boston play last year? Luka? They played Luka?
The Dallas,
yeah. So now I think this generation now is starting to take over in terms of actually getting to the finals because there was a point where it was like these young guys are balling, but they couldn't get past Steph. They couldn't get past LeBron. Mm-hmm. They couldn't get past KD.
We haven't had a back-to-back.
If you count Giannis and Jokic, I think Giannis and Jokic are in that middle. Giannis, Jokic, and Embiid are in that middle as well, even though Embiid hasn't made it to a finals. Just in terms of that, like you know what I'm saying. So now you're seeing the younger guys. You shaking your head, Pat, but this is just a casual opinion.
Nobody Embiid.
No, he's just saying.
I'm just saying age-wise.
Embiid is not part of that young core. He's not a part of that old core. He's in that middle section.
Yeah. Because like I said, he also hasn't been to a finals. But that's really just how I see it. Like it's like, oh, this is just a new generation finals. So if you're a younger kid or just a real good basketball head, you're loving it. If you're one of the people who I was a fan back in a different era, I'm kind of like, damn.
See, this was wrong
my guys. No, and I won't even say that. I won't even say, no, I don't want to see it because of that. It's just a damn. My era is kind of done, and my interest was already kind of faded. So it's kind of like I can't.
You hear that, LeBron?
I'm trying to find the interest, and this is the last thing I'll say. I'm trying to find the interest, But granted, these were both two teams that growing up, I was an OKC fan just due to, but not really an OKC fan, more of a Russ and KD duo fan as well as Harden. And then my first 2K that I ever had was 2K13. My player was on Indiana, so I always liked the Pacers. So when I saw Paul George take them boys to the Eastern Conference Finals that year, I would rock with the Pacers a little bit. So it's like, that's cool, but then when I look at it, it's like, bro, nobody's on either of those teams no more that you used to be kind of a fan of. So it's like, I still can't even, I'm trying to find something to get me interested in this finals, and I still haven't pulled nothing. So
I feel like that's the same way with foods as you get older. Like, you either just gonna eat the things that you like or you don't like. Like, some of the things that you may have just ate because you went there when you were younger or your parents may have took you, you know, you're not gonna seek after that as you get older. You know what I mean? And that's what I kind of feel like what happens with sports. But I do feel like to kind of go back to the question, though, I don't know. I think it's easy to just say, you know, this isn't going to be interesting or this or that, blah, blah, blah. But I don't know. I think it's going to be very interesting. I think even for the casual person, I mean, when they just put it on, I think they'll have a good watch of a game because it's not going to be a bunch of like the foul baiting. It's going to be a little bit more of that 2010s basketball that we are used to with basketball. So I do believe that when people kind of look at it and if they tune in, that they're going to get good content out of it. It's just not going to be necessarily the teams that they know of. But I think, you know, that's kind of just a matter of just, you know, evolution. So, I mean, we all have to just understand that. But I don't think that we're in a different new age, just to kind of go to a part of that questioning. You know, I don't think we're in a new age because, like, I've been hearing a bunch of people saying, you know, well, let me rephrase that. We are in a new age of, like, there's not going to be too many back-to-backs. But I don't think that we're in a new age where, like, the older people can't win or younger people are only going to be, like, because when you look at it just across the board, you know, Steph and them just won 3 years ago. They literally just won in 2022. That was their fourth ring. Now, after that,
I'm saying after that, since the past 2 years. So I think it's starting to start. I think it's just, I'm saying it's just starting to start. It got to start at some point, even when it's only at 1 year.
In 2 years.
Yeah, so I think from now.
Game has been going for 50 plus years.
I get where you're going, Pat, and then I get what you're saying. But even though the Warriors just won 3 years ago, so much has changed.
And I don't think we'll go back to it. I think that was the last one.
Kind of continuously going. Again, Lakers 5 years ago. And after that was the Bucks. And then after that was the Warriors.
I'm glad you brought up that last championship with the Warriors, because I mean, when the Warriors won that championship, I thought they snuck one. Like they run Ben over in my head. I felt like they snuck one. I feel like they wasn't supposed to win that one.
That was a great sneak in. I do agree. Yeah. I do agree
that they did something they did something that the Suns didn't get the chance to do. They did something that the 76ers didn't get a chance to do. It's a lot of things that a lot of teams do where we talk about these teams who haven't been to the finals or made appearances in the finals recently, is they capitalize on their opportunity in the window.
Exactly.
There are a lot of teams that we see, like, I'm going to be honest with you. We probably won't see the Pacers back in the finals next year. We might not see OKC in the finals next year.
Okay, so see, that's where I fell off. Since I haven't watched the season, I didn't know if that was the culture or atmosphere of the NBA season. Were these two teams on some, like, these about to be the next guys that are gonna keep coming, and it's not about to be a rematch next year? But you see what I'm saying? I don't know.
Both of them was yes, but we didn't know to an extent. That's where it was at. Because OKC,
they got to start somewhere. See, that's the thing. That's what I'm saying. The new era has to start at some point.
OKC was, they're great, but they just missing some pieces. And the pieces that they were missing was Caruso and Hartenstein because they needed vets. That's what their main thing was.
For the past 2 years, we've just been writing them off because they're old. I mean, young.
Who?
OKC. Yeah. They were tied for number one Actually, I think last year or the year before that as well. I don't know. I think they might.
No. They were number 2 last year.
No, yeah, they were 8th seed that year before, then went number 2, then went number 1 this year.
Yeah,
that's why. To Jamel's point, OKC has been in the picture. We just have been writing them off. And
we've been not taking them seriously.
What is your definition of writing them off?
All season,
not taking them serious because they're OKC.
Like
not thinking they're gonna win the championship because they
all season.
Because Ja had a similar trajectory where he was 8 seed, then he was a 2 seed, and then they couldn't really do nothing else after that.
It makes sense to say that because we've watched over the time of watching these games and watching these series and playoffs and all this stuff. There's a certain formula that you need to win a championship. And OKC, we knew, they got the talent, they're just missing something. They got
the formula.
They have the formula, but they're missing something. And we were right. They were missing something. That something was the vets. They needed the correct vet to get them there. Just like with the Suns, when they were in the bubble and they were balling in the bubble, and we was like, damn, they're missing one. They're missing 1 or 2 pieces, and they could literally get to the finals. Guess what? That piece happened to be Chris Paul, and I think Jay Crowder ended up becoming over there. So literally, we're like, that's what they're missing, that vet. So literally for OKC is the same statement of, oh man, they're missing a vet. Guess what? They finally got Caruso and they got Hartenstein. That got them over the hump.
Great pickup.
Indiana, they just needed that window. That's what their problem was. It's the same team. They just needed a window to finally sneak through because we saw it last year when they went to the mid-season tournament. We was like, damn, they can actually ball. They could go. They just need that window. Guess what? That window is always, damn, Boston is right there in the way because they don't have a super team, but they have a stacked team. They just need that window to get through. New York is getting better, but we knew something's missing there for that team. So guess what? All Indiana needed was that chance to get through the window, and now they're in the finals now because we know what it is. When you watch hoop and you watch these games, you know what teams is gonna get up in there. Like right now, that's why a lot of team hoopers are really upset. Like Kings, they had a great team, but they went to blow it up, and they never get a chance to go through it because you gotta remember they gave the Warriors hell 2 seasons ago, and they not even sniffing the playoffs now.
They tried to run with that team, and nothing worked.
Nothing worked.
They had already shipped over.
Their vet. No disrespect to him. Their vet was Harrison Barnes. That's not a vet that you really could just go.
Black Falcon.
They were better off with him. They did better.
That's what I'm saying. They didn't get anything that increased. They didn't upgrade without Harrison Barnes. They went to DeMar DeRozan, and in name value, that's an upgrade. But in skill level and what they need for that team, it is not what they needed.
And that's what they were thinking that they were trying to do at that point. I think they were trying to fill that void with DeMar, but it just didn't work. Right. You know what I'm saying? There, 100%.
That's like a team, like no disrespect to them. That's like when you get a good young core, and you have a young point guard, and you think, oh, if we can get Russell Westbrook, this will work. That no disrespect to Russell Westbrook, but he has a certain style. Not everybody could play to his
he doesn't
style.
Fit everybody.
And every team don't have need a Westbrook. That's just what it is.
100%. And I think that was
a certain vet.
But also too, I'm gonna point at this is a trickle down effect from owner, front office, head coaching, players, right? Because you could have the talent, but then you got to disconnect for front office, and that's what I see historically with the Kings. Now, what I see with OKC, great front office, because you literally went from the era of KD, Russell Westbrook, James Harden, got rid of all of them, transition. You had them dark days of Chris Paul, Melo, Paul George, but then you parlayed that into your future, which is SGA. You parlayed Paul George, and you was able to build.
Back you look at the personalities that you're putting on this team to make what needs to be done. just like the Pacers did. They kind
of writing off the Pacers. I think even in your explanation, you were kind of like that's what I was gonna say in that. Like we wrote off technically to Mel's credit to what he said is very fair. These two teams are actually they have been in the mix all year.
Yeah,
and just written them off. The Pacers made it to the Eastern Conference Finals.
Well, once again, but the reasons of why they're getting written off make sense. OKC this year, OKC wasn't fully written off. There was no writing off. There was written off on the Pacers was written off. Yeah, we could give them that because literally the only thing we knew was if they had the opportunity, if they had the window there, they could sneak in there. And that window opened.
I was out there. Like if they had the, I don't even feel like if they had the opportunity. I feel like we weren't even talking.
The window, because literally you have to remember I've been saying this all season was the only team that was great enough to go to the finals was Boston Celtics. And then you sit there and you look at the fact that okay, guess what? If the Celtics is standing right there in front of the window. And you look at a team going, damn, everybody else is kind of good, but they can't beat the Celtics.
But bro, top of the year, no ball, like no games played. 1, 2, and 3. That's not Pacers on the East.
No, they're not. They're not.
And it's right
now. I'm not on the West, was asleep. I'm gonna tell you why I was asleep. I was asleep on the Pacers, but then I woke up right before the playoff. But this why I'm gonna tell you why I was asleep. We didn't even peep. You remember how we was going like last year? We kept talking before Boston won the championship finally. We kept talking. Yeah, Boston got the talent. They got the coaching. They got the superstars.
They got everything.
Man, they just can't make it happen. They didn't have that no championship pedigree. They didn't have nobody on their team that went to the promised land, did it, and then they got the experience from it. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
With Indiana, I was asleep. The whole time they got Pascal Siakam on their team. The motherfucker won a championship with Toronto in 2019.
I get what you're saying, but
I hate
Boston is different though. These niggas was in the finals or in the Eastern Conference Finals for the past 5 or 6 years.
Yes,
like but I'm saying though, I'm going off of the point that you just made earlier about how the reason why we counted out Indiana,
but they literally had
veterans. The finals. We counted out OKC because they didn't have veterans, right?
But every team is not the same, though. Every team ain't the same.
I can't say have any household name.
It's like the Pacers doesn't have. It's like okay, you add this, you add that, and it should equal out to this. Okay, with Indiana, we got the coaching, we got the team, we got talent, we got the depth.
You could say that for
the championship pedigree. We add that.
You know what they're missing? What the Pacers was missing was one of the main things that you need to win the playoffs, or opportunity, or some luck. You need that.
I do agree with that. I do agree 100%.
That's one of the key ingredients. So when we talk about dropping down the playoffs from 7 to 5 and 3 and all this, when you're in 7, it's based off of luck. Can your team stay healthy? Can you do this and do that?
And where that come from?
Miami doesn't make those finals appearances without luck. Giannis completely got hurt in that I think it was like the first round.
Yeah.
It's just a part. Now, of course, the team has to step up to the plate.
The Warriors' whole dynasty is the Warriors' whole dynasty.
Yeah, you definitely gotta have that.
It's off of luck. And Kyrie and Kevin Love.
But I'm just saying, like they a lot of stuff is working for them playing into their favor. That's
but the Pacers, you have to understand where they're one. I'm not just. You can say I'm discrediting them, I'm shorting them, writing them off, wherever you want to say. But we've all came to that agreement that literally there was only one team to really beat in the East. And when you got past Boston, bro, the sun came up, the Red Sea parted, and at that point, sorry, say again, Pat.
Winning this shit because they got past Boston.
Who, Pacers?
I had New York beating the Pacers because they got past Boston.
Right.
So literally.
Right.
You know what I mean? They had to play them. Granted, injury, all of that shit can be true.
But the only reason, and then I literally sat there when I saw New York beat Boston. I'm like, they can't beat Pacers because the Pacers are a great team. They're a constant scoring team. You have to keep up scoring with them. So, and then it brings it to this point of Now let's get to the finals of OKC versus Pacers. We talked about it earlier, where the Pacers have an avalanche fourth quarter. That's where they make their money in the fourth quarter. That's where they kill you. The problem is, OKC can match them scoring wise. Yes, they can. They can match them scoring wise, and they can match them defensively. Can the Pacers match OKC when OKC go on their avalanche in the third quarter?
Can I throw this out?
They're going to front load the league and then see if you can make up in the fourth quarter.
OKC is 39-1 versus Eastern Conference team or Eastern teams.
I think when you get to these teams, I think you got
who's that one? I want to know who that one.
I want to know who that one is as well. Like, who the fuck did they lose to? But my point is, what are we talking about right now?
I got OKC winning.
So that's a prediction. So we got OKC. Who else we got?
No, you could add that. Yeah, that's a prediction.
Yeah, I got OKC on this side too.
I ain't saying nothing, man. I'm just saying
39. And the only way OKC loses.
Yeah, you weak.
Them boys get injured.
So everybody got OKC.
Frank got
OKC. Patrick.
All I'm gonna say is
let's put games on it.
I'm gonna be watching the games. I'm gonna be watching the games happy to see the nostalgia that we're gonna be seeing.
What nostalgia?
Hold up. Let me tell you.
Be older than everybody on the team.
Motherfucker. Let me tell you what it is. When you look at when you go to these games or look at the games now, the crowd don't be wearing the shirts no more like they used to.
OKC do, right? They be
OKC and the Pacers are the only two teams that still do that.
But it ain't nothing out there. They have all the time.
And that's okay. That's what makes the game great. That's what makes the games great. I don't need to see Timothy Chalamet and Kylie Jenner all the fucking time. I don't need to see Spike Lee. I like to see them wearing the shirts. I like to see the crowd standing up waiting for that first score for OKC. I'm a fan of that. I like to see the sea of blue, or when they white out the
to him.
The white out at home.
I mean, it's a whole 48 minutes, and you just rather the first 60 seconds of the game and seeing them stand up.
No, apparently these will score faster than that.
Oh my god,
it'll be quicker. It'll be the first 13.
I'm not talking about I'm talking about the visuals of the shit. I'm a fan of the visuals. I hate the fact that now when we go to the finals, I remember as a kid, it was, I want to say, the Celtics and the Lakers when they used to have the Larry O'Brien trophy on the court. Like, that used to be dope. We don't see that no more, which it is what it is.
The presentation. That's
also the Celtics.
They're bringing back MJ to NBC for NBA, so there you go.
Versus the Lakers, but I do believe they had it on the sideline when Miami won, and I think they still bring it to the sideline.
No. I'm talking about
the center court,
like the center court
in the thing.
Yeah. Like back when you used to play 2K.
That's hard. Yeah,
you used to play 2K. You used to have the logo on the ground.
That's hard.
I think Miami. I don't think the war. I think once we started getting the Warriors series, it kind of stopped.
They stopped doing that. No, they stopped doing that a long time ago, bro.
I think it was wrong with the Lakers
a while ago.
Somebody pull up the facts.
Because I'm about to say now all they do is a damn YouTube.
It had to be 2014.
YouTube TV ads on the side now.
It had to be 2014.
Speaking of the
when
facts,
they changed it.
So it's out there. I don't want our fans to think that we're giving them false information.
Yeah,
the Pacers wasn't number one offense in the regular season, but they are the number one playoff offense. If we, who's
the number one playoff defense?
OKC was the number one regular season defense. So that's why I was confused because I'm like, wait, the Pacers wasn't. I didn't know they were number one.
Well, I know the Pacers give up the most points in the playoffs at 113.
Neither. Now looking at the playoffs, like you said, offensive rating, Pacers is number 2. I mean, they're behind Cleveland, which they beat them. And then, defensive rating, OKC is still the best defensive team.
Yeah, Cleveland Cavaliers, that don't count.
But the Cavaliers don't count because all they did was beat up on the Miami Heat. That's why they got it high.
Just because you beat up on a homer don't mean
this is a hot take. This is a hot take. Sometimes I'd be like, sometimes I'd be looking like, damn, I wish we could have got the Warriors versus the Heat still in the NBA Finals instead of LeBron going back to Cleveland. I would have loved to see them Warriors teams go against the Heat instead of LeBron at Cleveland.
I
don't know. I'm not saying that Miami wouldn't have changed their team, but who's to say they definitely would have had to adjust it after that first year. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't know. That's just something that I'd be thinking. I was like, damn, that would have looked.
It's a funny thing you say that.
Huh?
3v3.
It's a funny thing you say that because Warrior fans literally hate Miami.
3v3, like that's a better matchup, I think.
Because I would have loved to see how Miami would have adjusted on some like, all right, we got to get another piece to this.
Let me reframe that.
Because Chris Bosh versus Draymond?
That's a better matchup for Miami. Because this is what to your point. Chris Bosh versus Draymond, but Klay Thompson got to guard LeBron James.
And Steph Curry has to guard
D-Wade. Oh, come on, man. But granted, I love seeing LeBron get the ring for Cleveland, but I would have loved that same series. Now imagine if Golden State still gets KD, but they would have to do it 2 years later. But either way, let's just imagine it. Hypothetical. They still get who does Miami go grab? You know what I'm saying?
Switch that a little bit. Iggy still would have guarded LeBron.
You basically turning the NBA into a Cold War.
D-Wade would have probably guarded Steph. I don't know who would have guarded Klay, honestly, because
you would have had to put who was that other dude on there?
No, I'm not.
Mario Thompson. Actually, it probably would have been Ray Allen.
I'm okay more so.
Oh, now you got Ray Allen shooting against. Oh man,
actually, I can't. It probably wasn't been Ray Allen. It would have been Shane Battier.
I think they would have picked somebody up.
It would have been Shane Battier, either Shane Battier, Mike Miller, or Ray.
Shane played the 4. It would have been Shane. He would have started at the 4. You would have let Bron continue to go straight up with Iggy. And then Chris Bosh is going to see Draymond. And then the big men can see each other. Yeah. Shane would have been, I guess.
Who was that? David West or David Lee or whatever?
Big man is
it would have been Bogut. It would have been Bogut and Joel Anthony.
Nah, it would have been a little different because the big man would have been matched up with with whoever is playing the 2 or the 1 at that point. And they just would have been guarding the dunker spot. For real.
Because it would have been different because
I think Miami probably would have ended up.
The playing styles of Miami.
I think Miami would have probably gone after DeMarcus Cousins or something.
Completely different. Those are 2 completely different.
I don't know.
Right? Because you're talking about slashing. Because really, people forget the Heat didn't really get to like a lot of threes until Ray.
Nah, they did not shoot a lot of threes.
Yeah.
Mike Miller and Shane Battier, Mario Chalmers
was spot up.
They were all the 3-point shooters. Rashard Lewis, those guys were the 3-point shooters. And then later on, you get Ray Allen up in there. And
you had
Chris Bosh started shooting threes.
Like, these are our guys to shoot threes.
But everybody else was downhill mid-range. Versus Warriors wearing Steph, Klay, Barbosa shooting threes.
Everybody on the court got green light.
Yeah, everybody had a green light. So I think that just would have been something different. But overall, I think right now, I'm a fan of the fact that we got different teams in the finals. Me personally,
I'm just a fan of good ball.
Team all the time. It's just something different. Like I said, we don't even know if we're gonna see these 2 teams again in the finals.
To your point about that, so going back, Cleveland versus Warriors, when the Patriots had their run, a lot of people, I felt like, just bet against greatness. And I don't get that. I've never gotten that. Like, I don't understand what is wrong with – if it's going to be the same 2 teams in the finals and y'all are the best, I don't care. I want to see the best basketball and the best product. That's it.
I get what you're saying, but it's kind of like when you're watching – it's like when you watch a movie on TV, and it's cool to watch that movie on TV the first time, but if you're going to keep playing it, or if you're going to play it either back-to-back or you're going to keep playing it every Friday night, like, damn, let's switch it up.
Bro, it's a great movie, but I would rephrase that and actually reuse the actors. And if it's great actors, it's great actors. I don't care. I want to see greatness. I want to watch all of Denzel's movies and watch them again. I want to watch all of Samuel's movies and watch them again. And
I'll watch them again too, but I'm not going to put on The Equalizer to follow up with Training Day, to follow up with in another Denzel movie 3 times.
Don't ruin it for yourself.
I don't have a problem with now. Of course, to your point, maybe it may ruin for somebody else. But for me, greatness is greatness.
So you rather watch 3 seasons straight of Lakers in the finals?
If they're the best in the West?
Well, and also because it felt like the problem was, but when you talk about preseason and summer league and all this shit, everybody's sitting there going, none of this shit matters because we're about to see the Warriors and Cavs. That's literally was a statement from literally everyone. We already know what this is about to go down to. Blah, blah, blah,
blah. The best, and to your point.
But then again, Patrick, that's you, Pat.
Toronto didn't feel like that. Toronto didn't feel like that. Victor Oladipo just got done out of a podcast explaining he genuinely thought the Pacers was going to beat them the year that Bron came and hit that game winner and shit like that. It was just dog shitting them. He genuinely, because they took him game 7. Right. So I'm saying that to say competitors are not going to just lay down. Like, it is what it is. But I enjoyed watching, is DeMar going to do it this time? And it was, for me, it's DeMar? A little DeMar DeRozan. When he was the Toronto Raptors and they faced LeBron 3 years straight and they lost.
Like, I could tell you what was going to happen, brother.
But to me,
DeMar DeRozan wasn't going to do it.
The Raptors winning their ring, yeah, they won their ring. But does that ring hit as much as if DeMar would have beat LeBron to win that ring? And that's
heavily opinion.
That's such a that's your heavy opinion because really that ring is powerful because then you have to think about the shit that Kawhi went through with the Spurs. For him to literally lead the Spurs and win a ring.
The fact that Toronto Raptors won a championship.
He was going to come back and play anywhere, and he went to a team that was ranked number 1 the year before. They were number 1 with DeMar, and the only thing they changed on that team was Kawhi and DeMar. He was going to play regardless.
Well, 2 things changed, to be honest with you. 2 things changed. Kawhi went to the Raptors, and LeBron went to the West. That's 2 major things.
They ran it back. How do we not know that the team who just lost to LeBron in the Eastern Conference Finals the year before doesn't go back and go to the finals?
That's a good point. That's a big what if. You don't know because the Raptors were the best team. The Raptors were the best team in the East behind LeBron and the Cavs.
Okay, so JB Bickerstaff and Kenny Atkinson this year. Who deserves player or coach of the year?
Who deserves coach of the year?
Yes.
To me it was JB, but it went to Kenny.
Right. To your point, Kenny inherited a team that was top in the East already. JB got a team that was nothing in the East. The Cavs was like top 3 last year.
Well, JB, this is my personal opinion. I think JB didn't get it because of all the shit that he was saying throughout the season.
Absolutely. He was really pushing the needle. But my point there is just like
politics, people. Politics is still in this world.
Feel me?
So just for y'all people who complain about Jaylen Brown not being on the Team USA, there's a reason why he wasn't on that team. There's full-on reasons, people. He's not a Nike guy, so he's not gonna be on that team. That's just how that works. Oh, what about Anthony Edwards? How the fuck are you gonna deny Anthony Edwards, who's an Adidas guy? Yes. How are you gonna deny him, who's being prepped to be the face of the NBA, on that team? He has to be on that team. Everybody else is basically either names that you just can't deny, or they're Nike guys.
Yeah. Why I think that we were writing the Pacers off and not heavily mentioning Tyrese is a gold medalist. He didn't play much last year in that effort, but of course you're gonna learn. Practice. You're gonna practice. You're gonna learn. He's got a gold medal, and my point here is like he was with them same guys that all year we've been saying, "Oh, Ant got better from these guys. Ant studied from these guys." He's with those same guys. Yeah. And Tyrese clearly has taken his game up another level. Yeah. I just think that, and I speaking for myself, I guess, but I think I'm speaking for majority of the community, the hoop community, because we weren't talking about the Pacers. Like the other people wasn't. And so it's like I just feel like those were some of those reasons why it's like now that they're here, it's like shit.
I hear you. But once again, I'm gonna stick to the statement of the people who watched and knew that they were good. We knew they were good,
but no one said they were going to the finals
because no one expected Jason Tatum to be hurt. No one expected Boston to get hurt, and that's when lose.
Bucks were going to compete with the Celtics. People said if Joel was healthy, that the 76ers were going to compete with the Celtics before the season started.
Hey, I just want to add this. You could check the episodes, like right before the playoffs started. I did say Indiana was my dark horse.
Before the playoffs, not before the season started.
Okay. Nobody knew.
Even think we had an episode before the playoffs.
I don't. But I don't remember what. Maybe that was a conversation outside. But
all I'm saying is
run the tape.
But literally, everyone has said, everyone knew Boston was that team to sit in the way in the front of the finals. Everyone knew that. But no one.
But we also said that what they do.
But no one.
But we also had an episode on.
If we knew that that Porzingis was gonna be sick, and we knew that Tatum was gonna get hurt, man.
And we know what else we know, Najee? Nah, you leaving some stuff out. What else we know about Boston that we talked about before?
What?
That they get leads and they blow them.
Oh, yeah.
Get leads,
they play with their food.
They lose to people.
Well, that's different. This series, that series with the Knicks was different, though. They didn't play with their food because literally, I think the Knicks punched them in the mouth. And then I think they replied back, but then Tatum gets hurt. Porzingis is sick that whole entire series.
But they was up 20 points and was down 0-2.
Who?
In both of those games. They were up 20 points.
Oh, yeah. You're right. My fault. You're right. They did play. They play with food.
This is what Boston been doing.
But there's you know what it is. You know what it is. You like even if so from what I'm looking at it,
on that stage
Tatum stays healthy for that team.
Situation.
If Tatum stays healthy for that team for Boston, I think Boston pushes it at least to a 7.
But they still losing though.
They might have still lost because no one expected. Like, okay, I might have said Porzingis ain't a star, but he brings an impact to that team. He brings something to that team. So no one expects Porzingis to be sick that whole entire series, and no one expects Tatum to go down hurt and out of the series. From that standpoint, everything is thrown off. I made a statement earlier. This wasn't with you guys, but I ended up calling y'all. I made a statement earlier to some friends that to me, Tatum wasn't in my top 10. Well, I didn't know. I said Tatum. They asked me where Tatum at. I said he's not my top 5. That's what I said. That don't mean he's a trash player. That don't mean he's garbage. That just, to me, I think there's 5 players that are better than Tatum. Tatum is at 6 in my top 10. But that don't mean that he don't make an impact for that team. That doesn't change anything. Guess what? Everybody had a role on that Boston Celtics team. That's just what the point is. So for literally, with the statement coming back all the way to the start of the season, no one, the Celtics were the only team that we knew was a guarantee to the finals. Everybody else was, they can make the finals. They're good enough to make the finals, except for like Orlando,
Atlanta. Put out Atlanta. Y'all always shit on us. Go ahead, Atlanta.
Charlotte. There's a bunch of teams where you just know.
I want y'all to keep that same energy.
They're playing for the fact that they were in the playoffs. Brother, I don't understand where your little combat come at. Y'all have been in the play-ins for the past 4 or 5 years.
Playing.
You mad? Because y'all been in the play-ins with Miami Heat?
Nah, I'm just saying, if y'all gonna always constantly shit on us when we do good, I want y'all to shit on us when it's time to put up some teams that's not legit. Because y'all be ready. Don't look around. Ain't nobody over there.
Who? So you want us to shit on y'all when y'all are good and bad?
I just want y'all to keep the same energy because that's what y'all do. No matter what we do, y'all shit on us.
Y'all haven't done shit. You made one Eastern Conference Finals. What did we do?
4 years ago.
4 years ago. Okay.
And what have all the other teams done? We done did what everybody else done did.
You ain't went to no motherfucking finals. Damn near majority of the Eastern went to the finals except for y'all asses.
Damn,
we done did more than that. We don't went to the Eastern Conference Final. That's a lot.
One time.
See this, and this is my point. We do anything, we get shitted on, so it don't matter.
Boston, the 76ers.
76ers never made a finals. Go ahead, keep going.
The Knicks, and now you can add the Pacers up in there.
When the Knicks made the finals.
No. I'm talking teams that made the Eastern Conference Finals more than once. This is teams that made the Eastern Conference Finals more than once. I'm calling out
all the teams that ain't made the finals.
I'll take the Pacers out because they just made it to the Eastern Conference Finals. So 5 of the teams of the East have already made it to the Eastern Conference Finals more than once for y'all. Like
you said, the 76ers. When the 76ers made the finals. When the Knicks made the finals. Huh?
They made the Eastern Conference Finals. I literally said these
and we made the Eastern Conference Finals. Y'all just shit on us. So what that mean? What does making a finals, Eastern Conference Finals?
Your team, you're the only fan I know for this damn team that hoops and hollers about every other motherfucking team because y'all can't get past in the one goddamn section.
I'm just saying, other teams could do the exact same thing we do, and they get praised. Oh, New York, man. Never made a finals. When they made the finals?
They've been constantly in the conversation for Eastern Conference.
Oh, now they've been constantly. Okay, let's move the goalposts again. Let's keep moving it. Okay.
So who better? Let me ask you this.
Go ahead, ask me some more, Cap.
Who is better, Donovan Mitchell or Jalen Brunson?
I'm gonna say Donovan Mitchell. He's been doing it longer.
That's the exact same shit I said earlier, but in the exact same reason. I just think that the because Jalen Brunson's on the Knicks, and I wasn't gonna combat his answer. Let me say this first. Whatever he said, it was gonna be whatever he said.
Bro, we literally do the same thing these other teams do, and they get praised.
I just think that because he's on the Knicks,
Indiana went to the finals because Jason Tatum got hurt. The only reason we went to the finals because Giannis got hurt.
Wait, y'all went to the finals? What finals?
Not the finals. We went. The only reason we went to like the Eastern Conference because somebody got hurt.
Absolutely, yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So it's the same thing. So why is we doing all this?
No, I mean, bro, majority.
Teams?
The only
we
reason
do the same thing, but we get shitted on.
What are you complaining about?
And nobody like the Hawks. Okay, just say y'all don't like us.
Okay, let me get it straight. So when the Indiana Pacers, who are in the Eastern Conference Finals right now, as we
they just got there.
They just got there. Yes. We go, yeah, good job, Pacers. So next season, when they don't make the Eastern Conference Finals, okay, cool. 2 years later, they don't make it. Cool. When they don't make it to the 3 or 4
if we make the finals, so you're telling me the only difference between y'all praising all these other teams and y'all constantly shitting on us because we ain't made the finals?
No. Y'all haven't been
there. So what's the point?
4 years. What do you want?
Like 4 years ago, nobody was praising the Pacers.
4 years ago, Matthew Stafford led the Rams. You're not sitting here like, you know what I'm saying? Like, come on, bro.
Like nobody was praising the Pacers.
Nobody was praising them 4 years ago.
Even the Suns, like even to what Najee
said.
Shit on the same year as the Suns.
Nobody gave a fuck about the Suns before the bubble.
We shit on the Suns. We shit on the Suns every season. Ever since, really, they've been shitting on them ever since they went to the finals. We've been shitting on them.
They said fuck because they spent all that money. We
shit on the Bucks.
We ain't gonna spend that money.
We literally shit on the Bucks every goddamn season, especially now because they got Doc Rivers. We shit on teams nonstop. You're just the only one who has the Hawks on this team that assumes we just constantly shit on the Hawks because they're the Hawks. No, nigga, you ain't won shit and you ain't done shit. That's how it works.
We did exactly what all of us these boo-boo shit-ass teams do.
Miami Heat, we literally made it to the finals, 2 or 3 years ago?
No, made it to the finals, not just in the playoffs. If y'all were in the playoffs right now, we'd be talking about y'all. We're not talking about y'all.
Guess what? We got swept.
Y'all just find some way to shit on us, whether we do anything. That's my point.
And guess what I said? I came on the show and said we literally don't need to talk about them.
How are we shitting on the Hawks when no one mentioned them? If we mentioned them, then we shit. Because I guess we just shitted on
Pat.
I'm saying keep the same energy when y'all shit on them, and when it's time to shit on other teams, mention us.
He felt a type of way because all I said was the Hawks are one of those teams for the past couple seasons where nobody feels they're a threat. That's all I said.
I ain't gonna say that much.
That's
They're
crazy.
not a threat.
The Hawks.
We don't beat all these teams. Y'all be praising, bro.
Y'all have
We don't beat
underachieved.
all these niggas. Y'all like, bro.
Over the past 2 years, y'all underachieved.
Yeah, okay, say that. Okay, I can get behind that. We underachieved.
I will say that.
I can get behind that. But
I will
don't
give you a little.
like we just ain't shit.
So you just want to lie. You want us to lie to you.
No, I'll give them a little more slack this year because Jalen Johnson got hurt. But y'all should have made the playoffs. They could have been made the playoffs.
Not cutting no slack for a team that we didn't believe in. What are we talking about?
I do agree.
Okay, y'all don't have to believe it, but nigga, we done did everything these other teams be doing.
How about this?
Niggas say, we don't believe in y'all, we don't trust y'all.
I'll change it up. I'll change it up and fix it for you. I didn't believe in the Hornets. I didn't believe fully.
Who had the Hornets beat this year? Who had the Hornets beat this year?
Nobody.
Okay then. We
don't
beat all
these the fact that y'all beat teams in the regular season?
In the playoff, we don't beat.
You talking about teams that y'all beat in the regular season?
Huh?
You talking about teams you beat in the regular season?
Yeah.
What do you fucking do?
Every
team beats one team.
One game out of 82.
Man, we don't sweat some of these teams.
Man, get out.
You talking about one game out of 82. And I don't want to hear from this. You don't even watch NBA, so shut up. Shut up. I don't watch the NBA. You know, I wait till they 2 games in the playoffs.
So let me get this straight. Let me get this straight.
Shut up.
I'm the only one you can cook right now. Okay,
so I'll take turns for you.
You getting cooked by the other
struggling and coming into week 18 or 17, hoping y'all can win and get into the playoffs, and y'all lose, you're going to come back. Well, we beat this team that was in the playoffs in week 2. Who gives a fuck? They're in the playoffs.
Yeah, it sure did. Yep.
They're in the playoffs. You're not. You couldn't get in the play-in. You barely got in the play-in. You couldn't get out of play-in.
We was right there. We was right there.
Right there.
Right there,
but not there.
We've been in the mix all season.
No, you haven't. No one believed in you all season.
No. What do you say? They're in the hunt.
No, we wasn't. According to this guy, we wasn't.
Y'all been in the hunt all season.
But they're not hunting. So, man.
Come on, man. Y'all talking about we beat teams in the playoffs. Who gives a fuck? It's 82 games. Of course you're going to beat them one time.
Multiple times. Multiple. You keep trying to undermine everything I'm saying.
Hey,
we
don't how about this?
These teams multiple times.
How about this? I won't undermine nothing when you make multiple Eastern Conference Finals appearances. When you make multiple Finals appearances, I won't underestimate nothing you say. But when you do that, when you make multiple,
y'all get LeBron James, y'all win a couple championships. See how these Miami fans do. Y'all get hella superstars. Oh man, nobody want to come to Atlanta. I got you.
You got
it's not that. Atlanta don't want to pay nobody.
It's
not that they don't want to go to Atlanta. Atlanta probably don't want to pay nobody.
Nobody want to play with them trash ass niggas.
I said pay nobody.
They trash.
Nobody want to play for y'all trash ass niggas. Y'all make niggas run.
That's great.
Fuck on y'all. Healthy
and then they run straight into the playoffs. Where y'all running to? Cancun.
Y'all went the same place we went. Y'all just went a little bit later than us. But we were waiting on y'all.
Hey, that's all that's all you need sometimes.
Yeah.
Y'all join KD and the Suns in Cancun early.
Y'all just cute losers. Y'all cute losers.
And what y'all ugly losers?
Yeah. We ugly losers.
What my mama say? Do you want to be an ugly pretty girl or pretty ugly girl?
Y'all lose. Y'all just make it look good, huh?
I guess I'll be ugly pretty then.
Hey,
gosh, man, y'all boys help, man.
However you want to slice it.
Man, let's get up out of here. Y'all got anything else y'all need to say before we get up out of here?
I just want to say, Atlanta Hawks Nation, I'm behind y'all, man. I'm standing on business. I ain't gonna let them disrespect us.
Trash ass team. Was there anybody in the chat? Is anybody in the chat? No? For our first live?
My lady said, hey.
Man, tell her ass to go to fucking bed.
Hey, man, watch it. I'll say that off the chat.
Bro. I ain't backing down.
Stand back and stand by.
Hey, glad to see y'all motherfucking folks, you know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir. Glad to see everybody. Glad to be back.
Is this going to be the new format?
Yeah, for sure. I think we should definitely keep up this format. Just stay live with every episode.
Hey, Pat, let the people know who your new NFL team is.
We ain't got
another switch up.
We ain't got there yet. My bad. Next episode. My bad.
This basketball season, not football season.
Yeah, it's basketball
gun,
season heavy. But Pat. I mean, if you just wanted to jump, and you know what I'm saying, you just felt like asking.
No. We don't do no jumping around here. Mr. Massey gonna break up the fight. We don't do no jumping.
All right now. Yeah. All right now.
Make sure you got your life vest and your pocket singers. We good.
All right, y'all boys. It's been a great episode.